I wish you guys could see what I'm using as like a tripod, because it is not a tripod, it's just like things stacked on top of each other. Hi y'all, my name is Sahara and welcome to my YouTube channel. That felt very weird to say. Hi guys, so this is my first like bookish content on here. The last 3 videos I've posted were all vlogs, which I love doing just because, mostly for myself, just to have memories. I love it. I am probably the only views on there is because I just miss my friends and I keep watching it. But this is my first bookish related video. It's going to be a reading vlog. I'm sure you can see the book in the frame. A little bit about me is that I love reading romance, which is why the book I'm reading right now is like out of my genre. Today's video is a reading vlog. It's my first ever. I am reading acotar. I'm really excited for this. I know it's a very beloved book and a very beloved series. I never thought I would pick up this book, like ever. I really didn't. And then I had a couple friends who have read it since and have loved it and have been trying to get me to read it. So here we are. I am buddy reading this with my friend Charlotte. We don't really read fantasy. I have never read fantasy before. I used to like dystopian type of books. I was always a reader back like growing up. One of my favorite series growing up was Divergent. I love the books. I love the movie. Hunger Games, like all that kind of stuff. I love the dystopian type of books, but I've never read fantasy, so I'm excited to see what my thoughts are. I know this one's a little bit of a slow burn, I've heard, and this is the first book of the series. I don't have the other books with me, but if I love this, I will be purchasing the rest of it. She's not that thick, but I know the books get thicker as we go, so we shall see my thoughts. But join me in reading acotar and entering my fantasy era. Okay, so I just finished the first chapter. I don't have any really thoughts, except that I had to like reread a couple of parts. I know I'm only on chapter 1, but like I was still a little confused, so that's where we're at. Lauren Hale? All I see is Hale and I immediately think of Lauren Hale. Again, not far into the book, but so there's 4 sisters. There's Farah, is that how you say her name? I'm gonna have to ask my friends how do I pronounce these names, whose point of view it is, right? And there's Elaine, who seems to be, or there's 3 sisters. There's 3 sisters, I'm pretty sure. Just from like pictures of like artwork and stuff that I've seen. Elaine, Farah, I think, and Nesta? Is that how you pronounce her name? I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask my friends. Hello, it is a new day. It is the next day. I didn't really get far into the book at all. I'm only on chapter 7. It's actually funny because I was a bit confused reading it, right? I think just because like I haven't read fantasy before, so it's not like your typical like romance book per se, and I don't usually read the synopsis of books. I like to go into my books blindly. However, I really should have read the synopsis for it, because after what happened, like you could like the back of the book. So Farah kills a wolf in the woods, and just like to protect herself, it wasn't like the wolf was attacking her or anything, but just to protect herself, she killed it. And then this beast comes into her house being like, who killed my friend? Turns out it was a fairy. So I guess fairies can like disguise themselves, is what I'm gathering. But he's like, in return of killing my friend, you have to come and live with me, is what his thing is. So like some Stockholm syndrome going on, I guess. He's like, I don't even care if you live with me, you just have to live in like the fairy world, basically. It's on the back of the book, right? And after I read what happens, which is like within the first 7 chapters, I was like, wait, let me read the back of the book. Read it, it was exactly what had just happened. So now I understand the plot of this book. I was a little confused if she was human or not, which my friend like verified that it was like she is human. So yeah, I'm enjoying it now that like I know the premise of the book. That is my update on where I'm at. So it's been a couple of days since I have updated you guys on like anything of me reading. It's currently 2:20. It's my work day, but I'm taking a little break and I decided I want to read a little bit right now. Again, I'm buddy reading this with Charlotte, but I don't know where. I feel like she's not that far into it. Also, you guys are standing, like my camera is on top of my Stanley cup right now, so not stable. That being said, I did order a tripod for my camera just so I could put it anywhere and like record videos. So I thought let's open this together. Here she is. She's cute, so I'm excited for this just so it's easier to like do these like reading vlogs. Oh, she's flexible. Okay, I'm gonna get this set up and then I'm gonna tell you guys my thoughts on the book so far. I kind of had it set up, but I don't think it's straight, so bear with me with this. Okay, so I think I'm on chapter 17 right now. I don't know what page that is, but I'm like 140-ish something pages in. Here's the thing. I like to go into books blindly, right? Like I don't like to know anything about like what's going on, because if I know like little bits and pieces about books, then I'm just like thinking about it. So right now I am liking Tamlin. I am liking Tamlin and I'm like, oh my God, this feels too good to be true. Like, why is he being so nice to her? Because like she killed his friend. So like I'm liking Tamlin right now when I shouldn't be. Like he shouldn't be as nice as he is to her. You know what I mean? But he is. Also that one scene, I had just read it. He like gives her this like room with mirrors or something like that. I think that's what it was. But you know what it reminded me of was Beauty and the Beast, when the Beast gives like Belle, like not gives, but like takes her to the like library and she's like in awe and he's like, you can read whatever you want. He's giving her all these like paint supplies and just giving me the same feeling. And I'm like liking him, but I'm pretty sure people don't like him. Like I think that's what it is. And I also, again, this is why I don't like to know things about books before going into it. I think she ends up with someone else. Like I don't think Tamlin's her love interest. I don't like love triangles, guys. I don't know what's happening. I just have a lot of questions. Which literally I had texted my friends that like love the series so much, being like, saying exactly what I just said to you guys. Like I'm confused. Like why is Tamlin being so nice to her? And they just like laughed at me and were like, just keep reading. So that's all I can do is just keep reading. So yeah, when I gather more thoughts and when I'm less confused, I will be back. Hello. I am like just about halfway through now at this point. If you saw me squealing in the last clips, it's because I love Tamlin. Like, I know that y'all don't like him and I don't know why. This is why I like not knowing anything about books and characters, because if I didn't know that people didn't like Tamlin, I would have just been here living my life, loving Tamlin, but I know people don't like him. Which I'm like, why? Because I'm like in love with him right now. But I also know that Freya doesn't end up with him, which also gets me like, ugh, I hate this. I hate this here. The story's like kind of picking up now, but like I still want more. Like I am confused and I need answers. So I don't really have much else to say. Also, not bunny reading this with Charlotte anymore. She's just not in her fantasy mood yet, so that's fine, but I am already halfway, so I'm going to finish it. I have a hockey game at 7 and it is 6:24, so I'm going to read for the next like half an hour-ish and then make dinner and watch the game. So I got to a part in the book, like I am almost finished. I literally just have this much left. Full on screaming. I got all the answers to my questions that I had in the beginning, and that's all I'll say. Okay, so it's actually been a couple of days since I finished acotar. I finished acotar on Wednesday night. Like I just could not stop reading it. Like once I got to the end, I just was like, oh my God, I cannot put this down because I just want to know what happens. Here's my thing. My thing is that I knew that everyone hates Tamlin. I didn't know why, but I know people hated Tamlin. So when I'm reading this, I'm just like, why? Like I'm loving him. Like I'm obsessed with him. I'm in love with him. And I know people are gonna laugh at me because whatever reason they don't like him, I don't know clearly. And even until the end, still love him. I'm like, what's happening, guys? Like why? So I think that just gave me anxiety of knowing that people don't like him, but like loving him, so I'm a little confused. My best friend has read the entire series, and I was talking to her about it, and she had said, like, I still love Tamlin regardless of what people say, and that's her unpopular opinion. Although for her, a lot of her opinions are very unpopular when it comes to books in general. But she says she loves Tamlin. My other friends just refuse to tell me anything. Won't even say a single peep. So that's where I'm at, is that I knew people don't like him and I am in love with him. So that is what my anxiety is all about. Essentially, this book is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, right? Again, did not know that beforehand. Beauty and the Beast retelling, very good. A lot of it is just the plot and just about the world they live in, which honestly makes sense for a first book because it's fantasy. It just like was so slow burn that I, again, because of what I had known from other people about a certain character, I just was like, I just want to know why about that character. You know what I mean? So I think that's what kept me reading this. That's that. I don't really have a lot of thoughts because I did love the ending. And Rysand, is that how you say his name? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing people's names right, but he gives me this like flirty vibe, and I know a lot of my friends love him, so I'm excited to see more of him in book 2. I am really excited to read this, and I am going to include this into the vlog. It's going to be a first and second book vlog, just because I feel like I didn't have much thoughts on the first book. I'm hoping I have more thoughts on this one. So yeah.
And we're back. It's been a bit since I've vlogged. You guys don't know that, but I do know that. I have finally started. This is why I haven't vlogged or anything. It's because I haven't had the time to read this. I have read so many, not so many, but I've read books in between of acotar and now this. I'm not that far into this. I'm on like chapter 8, I think. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. So from what I've been reading, there was a point where I was squealing. So as we know, I love Tamlin, and I don't understand yet why everyone hates him. But I have gotten to a part where I do see his red flags. Like I am noticing them, and like Rysand, I like was squealing at times when he says stuff. Tamlin's like, oh, I can protect you, like you don't need to fight for yourself, I want you to stay at home. Whereas Rysand's like, I want you to fight by my side, I want you by my side, I know you can protect yourself. Whereas like Tamlin treats her like a damsel in distress type of deal, right? That's the vibes. I know everyone loves like chapter 45 or 55 or 52 or like, I don't know, I just see stuff and I just end up having to just like swipe through. But that's not until the very end. So I'm currently listening to this playlist on Spotify, just acotar ambiance. I always need to be listening to music when I read a book, but obviously while I'm reading fantasy I don't want like lyrics in it, so these are just like instrumental, and it's really great, and I will link this down below. But this is what I've been listening to while reading. I am like halfway through the book now. I'm on chapter 33. I am very much enjoying this right now because I feel like I'm finally starting to get into like the meat of the story. I am waiting for it to like pick up a little bit. I'm like waiting for a little bit of drama to occur, but right now we're getting to more of the meat of it. Every time Rysand speaks, does anything, I'm literally drooling. There's like so many things that I highlighted that he said, and I'm just like in love with him. Like I love the little banter with him and Farah. I will say there is one character that has not been seen in a while. If you know, you know. I'm waiting for that person to pop back up because I feel like once that person pops up, there's gonna be some drama, and I'm waiting for that drama. I'm waiting for that certain person who's in the beginning who we don't like to pop up again. I also understand why we don't like that person anymore. Yeah, I think Farah, I think she's a very strong character, and I really like that she is holding her own. And she's, the thing I love about Rysand is I think he helps her realize how strong she is. He doesn't cage her up like some people, and I like that he's letting her see her full potential and bringing her in on things versus like keeping her in the dark, right? very much like that, and that makes him like 10 times hotter than he already is. I love looking at fan casts because then I get to like visualize them as I read. Obviously getting introduced to new characters, I gotta learn how to like actually pronounce their names correctly because I don't think I'm pronouncing them right, so I will ask some friends how they're pronounced. I am at the end of chapter 34. Farah and Rysand are speaking, and Farah says, "To the people who look at the stars and wish, Rhys." And then he says, "To the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered." And I thought that was so beautiful, and it's making me really emotional. And like obviously this is a fantasy, but I feel like there's so many parts of who Farah is that I can really relate to. Just life, and her feelings are so valid, and I feel like I really relate to her. But yeah, that line just kind of like stuck with me. To the people who look at the stars and wish, to the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered. I think that's so beautiful. I think that's one of the most beautiful lines that I've read. So that was 34. On to 35. So I've gone through a couple drinks. So I went through my Dunkin'. I have like a little bit left, so I'm gonna throw that out. What am I doing? A red Solo cup. My mom gave me some ginger ale and went through this. So now I'm at chapter 42. I have like 200 pages, 224 pages left, I believe, and we're getting to the meat. We really are getting into the meat of the story. My friends have requested that I record my reaction for chapter 54 and 55, which I can only guess is, yeah, I'm like this much left, so I'm a little scared. Where is the person I've been waiting for to pop up? Where is this person? I cracked myself up. I don't know why I thought that this vlog would be a good first reading vlog, because I feel like with fantasy it's really hard for me to like say my thoughts and, you know, explain what's happening. I don't have thoughts when I read fantasy. Like when I read Fourth Wing, I had no thoughts. I was just reading to get to what was happening. Like I'm just there for the vibes and I'm like living in the moment. I feel like that's the type of reader I am. It's like I never think about what's next. So I was texting a couple of my friends and they're like, "What are your theories?" And I'm like, what theories? Like I have zero theories. Like I'm just reading in whoever's point of view it is. I'm reading within that moment. Does that make sense? And I am a visual reader, so I do, like, it plays out like a movie in my head. Like I can see it happening, which is why I like face claims, because then I just visualize the face claims as I go on. So grateful for all the art that has been made for this series. And I'm only now figuring out that the series is not finished. There's 5 books out and the series is not over. There's still more. And I know Sarah J Maas has like a huge backlist of books. So when I will get to all of that, I don't know. When will I finish this? Probably today, hopefully. TBD on all of it. I've changed locations in the living room. I am eating up the jealousy in this. Like, Sarah J Maas knows how to write a slow burn. I understand, but the jealousy is what is holding me over until something actually happens. So not the exact person that I wanted to come back, but someone from their group just showed up. So I'm like freaking squealing. I'm on chapter 47. I just read his name. I'm scared. I'm scared to continue reading. Oh my god. But I could technically finish. I only have this much. I could finish, but I don't think I'm going to finish tonight. I think I'm going to finish it tomorrow. I technically could finish tonight, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm like cackling because there's a one bed trope in here. Just did not, I don't know why, I just like didn't expect to see this in a fantasy book, but I love this. I love this. I love a one bed trope. Things better start picking up, Sarah J Maas, because I'm getting impatient. I only have like 150 pages left and I want some action. I was already in bed and I was reading, and then I got to chapter 54 and I started crying. So I came downstairs and I'm gonna finish reading chapter 54. I'm only halfway through that chapter and it is probably the most beautiful thing I've ever read in my life. I'm so unwell right now. Chapter 54. One of the most beautiful things I've ever read. I don't know what to do with myself. Took a well-needed break. Chapter 55. Here we go. I wish I had like just recorded my reaction to the end of that. I just read chapter 63. I knew it. My friend had asked me, she was like, do you have any theories? And I said one theory and it was right. It was right. I'm like the type of reader that like doesn't have theories. When I read, I kind of just like read and I live in the moment of whoever's like point of view it is. But I did have this one theory. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna need 3 to 5 business days to think about what I just read, and then I'll come back and give my full review. You guys may not know because this is like the next clip into the video, but it's been a couple of days since not couple of days, it's been like about a week almost that I finished reading this. When I said I need 3 to 5 business days to gather my thoughts, I really meant it. However, I took a little bit, that's a lie. That's a lie. I was gonna say I took a little bit of a break. I did not take a break. I did start acotar already. I ended up listening to it. I've been listening to the graphic audio. I know not a lot of people are fans of it. I, however, love it. Let's talk about acomath. That ending, whirlwind. There were so many. I was rewatching. I was like, what did I last talk about in the clip? So I know what to say now. I didn't really say much. I just said I needed 3 to 5 business days. But obviously through my reactions, I was trying to figure out like what I was reacting to. Originally, I gave this a 4.75, which the 4.75 was because it genuinely was an amazing book. But the 0.25 that I could, oh, there's something in my eye. The 0.25 that I could not give it for was because it's a slow burn, and I'm just not a slow burn girly. I'm sorry, I'm just not. But they're just like, there's so much going on in the beginning like that I just was getting a little impatient for some of it, so that's why I gave it 4.75. But then giving 5 stars is very easy for me. If I loved it, 5 star. Like I'm Oprah, you get a 5 star, you get a 5 star, you get a, that's me with 5 stars.
So I was thinking a lot about it and I was like, I can't stop thinking about it. So maybe it does deserve a 5-star. I did end up giving it a 5-star. The key chapter that would make it a 5-star is chapter 54. That chapter. Superior. I loved getting introduced to the new characters in it. The found family aspect of this. Like, I love found family in my hockey romances, my sports romances. Did not know I was gonna love found family in a fantasy book this much. Like, obsessed. Rysand and Farah, chapter 54. Guys, I have to, hold on, I have to go to chapter 54. I have to go to chapter 54. The whole thing of them being mates. Like, I knew they were gonna be together. Let's also talk about Rysand's name real quick. Sorry guys, I'm like all over the place. This is how my brain works. Rysand's name, it's pronounced Rysand. I understand because we call him Rhys. So Rysand. However, I just think Rysand sounds better. And for a couple of it, I was calling him Rice instead of Rhys. You're just gonna have to bear with me because I'm gonna end up calling him Rhys and then Rysand. I know they're wrong. Nobody come at me. I understand. Just me and myself. What was I saying? This is what happens when I go off track. Dear Lord. Chapter 54. We're gonna flip to it, guys. Everybody grab your books. We're in a book club now. This line. There you are. I've been looking for you. Thank you for finding her for me. Okay, I'm gonna cry again. I'm literally gonna cry again. I cried at this part. I don't know if I even recorded myself crying, but I was crying. Also, I just want to preface that I'm not a Tamlin hater. Like, the way everyone hates Tamlin, I don't hate him like that. Do I think he's a little annoying and do I not condone some of his stuff? Yeah, but like, I don't hate him the way everyone hates him. We'll get more into that. But Tamlin wishes he could be Rysand. Like, he really wishes. Because the way that, even though they're mates, Rhys was still gonna let her be with Tamlin if she ended up just loving him. My man, like, what? That part just broke me. 54, I don't think I highlighted anything because I was just in reading mode. Yeah, like nothing is highlighted. I think I maybe tabbed one thing. What did I tab here? I don't know. Chapter 54 has like the biggest chokehold on me. I just think their love is just so magical. And if you have read the Addicted Calloway Sister series, I have compared Rysand and Farah's love to Lillian Lowe's. I feel like, so here's the thing about Addicted Calloway is that I'm a Ryke and Daisy girl. I'm a racy stan to my core. However, Lillian Lowe's love is just the most magical thing I've ever read. And Rysand and Farah's love feels like the same. I feel like that's like a 1 in a million type of love. I'm literally talking about fictional characters right now. Let's talk about the Tamlin hate, because I don't necessarily hate Tamlin the way everyone else hates Tamlin. I understand, the thing is, I understand why he's acting the way he is, because he's literally just trying to protect who he thinks is the love of his life. The first bit of this, right, when Farah is cooped up in the house, I don't know if Tamlin is just oblivious to how depressed and how much like PTSD she's going through from everything that happened in acotar under the mountain and all of that. I don't know if he's just oblivious to it and is, you know, just not noticing it, or if he knows it's going on and is just choosing to ignore it. Either way, I think as a partner, as someone who claims to love her, that's just wrong of him, whereas Rysand, her mate, clearly can feel it and knows it and is willing to help her in any way he can. I don't like the beginning stuff of him like treating her the way he did and like being so oblivious to her like throwing up every night and like all of that, and the fact that they don't share a shared room and like they claim to love each other and all of that. Like, a beast will stay a beast, I guess. Out of the Bat Boys, I will say that I am an Azriel girl, I think. I do love Cassian. I think Cassian is like the perfect side character. Like, he reminds me of a lot of the side characters that I love in other books, where they have like the perfect one-liner where you're just like giggling and laughing and be like, oh my god, I want you as my best friend, you know? But I am excited to learn more about the Bat Boys and their stories and get to see them more and let them shine. I get it. Guys, I'm so happy to be in this universe. Just really loving being here. I I literally cannot stop thinking about this book. And so ACOWAR is going a little bit slow for me right now because obviously we're just like, you know, picking up the pace, whatever. And you know how Sarah J Maas does, like the ending. This is where everything happens to be. I understand the hype. I get it. I really get it. I understand why you all love this book so much. Thank you guys so much for watching this reading vlog with me. My first reading vlog. Did it go perfectly? Absolutely not. If you would like to join me in my journey of me reading the acotar series, you could follow me on my Instagram, which is linked down below, because I usually just end up posting a ton of stories on there. I like to talk a lot. Yeah, follow me on my Instagram if you want to be up to date with my updates on the acotar series. Thank you for joining me on this journey of reading the series with me. Thanks for watching. Be sure to, you know, the usual stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and hopefully I will see you guys soon.